Donc, bonjour à tous, bienvenue dans ce webinaire spécifiquement sur les études aux États-Unis dans des établissements qui s'appellent des community college. Donc, on va voir aujourd'hui avec nos intervenants qu'est-ce que c'est qu'un community college. Il va y avoir une intervention de Martha Acosta-Pieters qui travaille à Edmonds College qui se trouve dans l'État de Washington. Et il y aura également un étudiant qui est en ce moment, qui s'est réveillé tôt ce matin. Martha aussi s'est réveillée tôt pour vous parler depuis la Californie, depuis Diablo Valley College. Donc il se présentera tout à l'heure. Donc, moi, je suis Céline Ouziel. Je représente la commission Fulbright franco-américaine. Donc, qu'est-ce que c'est que la commission franco-américaine? Très rapidement, c'est un organisme qui existe depuis très, très longtemps, depuis 1948, qui est financé par les deux gouvernements, le gouvernement français, le gouvernement américain. Donc, c'est un organisme avec des subventions publiques. Et on a deux missions principales. La première, c'est la gestion d'un programme de bourse qui s'appelle le programme Fulbright et qui est très prestigieux aux États-Unis. Le programme Fulbright, c'est un programme de bourse pour aller faire plutôt un master ou un doctorat. Donc, ce n'est pas pour aller faire un community college aux États-Unis. C'est aussi des Américains qui vont à l'étranger. Donc, on reçoit également des étudiants américains qui viennent en France avec une bourse Fulbright. Donc, je ne vais pas parler des bourses Fulbright aux États-Unis. Et si vous êtes intéressé par ça, c'est vraiment, il faut être au niveau master ou doctorat. Il y a d'autres webinaires qui ont été organisés et qui seront organisés un petit peu plus tard. Moi, je représente plus particulièrement le centre EducationUSA, qui est un centre d'information, qui fait partie de la commission franco-américaine. C'est un service d'information sur les universités américaines. Je fais partie d'un réseau international qui s'appelle tout bêtement EducationUSA et qui a pour rôle de faire la promotion de toutes des plus de 4500 universités qui existent. Il y a même plus que 4500 universités aux États-Unis. Parmi ces 4500 institutions d'enseignement supérieur, il y a également les community college. Alors, qu'est-ce que vous pouvez... comment vous pouvez nous contacter et comment est-ce qu'on peut vous aider? Donc, si vous allez sur notre site internet dans la rubrique Étudier aux USA, vous avez plein d'informations sur le système universitaire américain. Vous pouvez nous envoyer une question par le biais du formulaire de contact. On participe souvent à des salons, on fait des présentations dans les facs, dans les lycées, etc. Et je peux vous recevoir, si jamais vous avez un projet d'études aux États-Unis, je peux vous recevoir sur consultation individuelle, sur rendez-vous. C'est le seul service qui est payant. C'est 25 € pour 45 minutes. En ce moment, je fais ça par Skype ou même par Zoom, si vous préférez. Puis comme tout le monde, on a nos réseaux sociaux, on a une newsletter et on vous invite à vous inscrire si vous ne l'avez pas déjà fait. Par le biais de notre newsletter, vous aurez toutes les informations de tout ce qu'on organise tout au long de l'année. Très rapidement aussi, l'enseignement supérieur aux États-Unis, il y a 2 cycles d'études. Donc aujourd'hui, on va parler plutôt de la première partie du cycle undergraduate, donc les 4 premières années d'études. Et on va voir qu'un community college, ça commence, c'est les 2 premières années du cycle undergraduate. Voilà, donc community college sont des institutions de 2 ans. Martha, elle va expliquer tout à l'heure un petit peu mieux que moi. Au départ, Martha, vous me direz si j'ai tort, ce sont des institutions qui ont plutôt pour vocation de proposer des formations professionnelles. Ça a été un petit peu au départ le principe des community college, mais aujourd'hui, il y a de plus en plus de community college qui proposent des formations plus universitaires et notamment des transfer programs. C'est ce qui intéresse le plus les étudiants internationaux. Commencer les 2 premières années dans un établissement d'enseignement, dans un community college et ensuite transférer directement en 3e année. Il y a plein d'avantages au Community College, et Martha va développer ça tout à l'heure, mais les deux principaux avantages, c'est le coût qui est beaucoup moins important que dans les universités, et aussi l'accès, l'admission qui notamment ne nécessite pas de passer ce fameux test du SAT et du SAT, qui est quand même assez compliqué notamment pour un Français. Voilà, donc j'ai fait une présentation très rapide. Je vais juste demander maintenant à Mansour de se présenter en 2-3 minutes, mais après, vous aurez l'occasion de parler un petit peu plus de ce que vous faites et puis de répondre aux questions.
En français? Donc, je m'appelle Mansour, j'ai 19 ans, j'habite en Belgique, mais j'ai étudié toute ma vie en France. Et je suis actuellement un étudiant en Californie, ça fera 1 an. Et, et j'essaie de rester et comment on dit en français? Je planifie de transférer dans un four-year university. Désolé.
Donc vous faites ce qu'on appelle le fameux transfer program, right?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Mansour. Now we can switch to English with Martha.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon, good early evening. My name is Marta, and I'm the Director of International Marketing at Edmonds College. It's great to be in front of you all. Let me now share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen? Excellent. Okay. It's always hard to know what you guys see and what I see, but technology is a wonderful thing. I will talk for the next few minutes about the advantages the community colleges offer to international students, the opportunities that we offer, and also why community colleges have become a very, very popular option for international students in the last 20 years. So I will be going back and forth between talking about Edmonds College and also community colleges in general in the US. Community colleges, you know, there are more than, let me just show you something here. For some reason, there you go. Why would you study in a community college? For many reasons. We are smaller institutions, okay? Compared to universities in the US, a community college is a small institution. Edmonds College, for example, has 10,000 students. Universities usually have 30, 40, 50, 100,000 students, very large institutions. So a community college gives you the sense of, you know, you're comfortable walking around, you get to know your campus. The first day that you arrive, you get to know people because you're seeing people all the time in the cafeteria, in the library, in the bookstore, computer labs, in the gym. So it makes it for a more comfortable environment for students. We also, community colleges in general have more flexible admission dates. So for example, you can apply to community college in Washington State 4 times a year. We accept students spring, summer, fall, and winter. Other states like California is a semester system. So where Mansour goes to school, he has the spring semester and the fall semester. So you have a choice of which kind of community college you want to attend. There are more than 1,000. Let me show you my next screen. Just one second. Celine already covered this, so I will not do that, but There are more than 1,462 community colleges throughout the United States. If you like warmer weather, if you like to be in Silicon Valley, California, if you prefer more nature, you know, the United States is a huge country. You can choose by location, you can choose by cost of living. Perhaps you are an artist, you want to be near, arts, or you are a technology person and you want to be in Seattle, Washington State, where my college is located. Edmonds is about 30 minutes north of Seattle. We're about 2 hours from Vancouver, Canada. And of course, we the home of Microsoft, Amazon, Costco, Starbucks, huge companies here. But community colleges offer, like I said before, a lot of advantages over universities. And let me show you my next slide because that is a great summary of, sorry, I have two screens going and I'm still trying to navigate through them. Apologies. So what I put here is a table of comparison. Community colleges in general, we're public institutions, meaning we're government schools. Our tuition in Washington State, tuition is approximately, let's say, even $10,000. When you compare to university, a public university like University of Washington, tuition is about $38,000 last year. If you compare to a private Jesuit university, Christian university, private school, is extremely expensive. So cost is a very important thing for many students. Our annual cost is a little under $20,000. This annual cost includes tuition, books, accommodation with a host family, and meals. And when you compare total costs with universities, it's a significant savings. This is really important for parents, really important for students. Because you're studying the first 2 years of university at any community college, you're going to study your foundation courses. So, for example, if you're going to study psychology, you take your general studies at Edmonds for the first 2 years or at any community college, then you will transfer to university and do the last 2 years of your bachelor's degree. That is where you specialize in criminal psychology, child psychology, maybe industrial psychology. Same for engineering. At Edmonds College, any community college, you will take your physics, your math, chemistry, whatever foundation studies for your specific engineering program. Once you get to university, then you choose chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering. I think what is really important to know is that community colleges, at least in Washington State, we have an open admissions policy. This means that as long as you're 16 years old, you can be admitted to our college. We're not going to require TOEFL or IELTS. We don't require SAT or ACT exams. As you can see here on this is the summary for Edmonds College. Many community colleges in Washington State also have the same requirements. It's a little bit different in California, where Mansour goes to school. You have to be 18 years old for many schools. But the idea is also a more flexible admissions process going through a community college than it is to go to university. So I always tell students, if you feel like you want a transition period between your home country and the United States, the easiest way is to come to a community college because it's a small institution, people pay attention to you, you have dedicated staff, students, mentors that help you succeed. In a couple of slides, you will see the support services that many community colleges offer throughout the US. Even now, through this pandemic, Mansour and I were chatting earlier, how our schools are trying to support students in learning right now. Even though we're not face-to-face, there are many things that we do to help students keep engaged and continue studying, get good grades, be successful. Okay. Let's see, back to that screen. We already talked about that. So community colleges in general offer 2-year degrees for those students who want to have a bachelor's degree from the United States. 2 years at Edmonds, 2 years in a community college, 2 years at university, you finish your bachelor's degree. There are a lot of students who want to have a job as soon as possible. They want to prepare themselves for a job. And for those students, we offer 2-year programs. They're professional training programs. Let me give an example. If you wanted to be a web designer, if you want to be a computer technician, if you want to be culinary, want to be a baker, there are over 50 areas at Edmonds College where students come, and it's 2 years of studies. They're able to work in the United States for 1 year, and then they go back to their country, but they go back to work. So they're not going to continue on to a university. These degrees are fantastic. They are hands-on. We have, like I said, over 45 different degrees. You can be a laboratory technician, pharmacy technician, nursing assistant. You can do a lot of computer work. For example, material composites science for people who work in the aircraft industry, technicians. We also have students who come because they want to work in the travel industry or in the hospitality industry. So excellent option for students who want something short. If you don't, for you guys, it's not a problem, but if you needed to improve your English, we have English training courses. We also offer high school at Edmonds high school program. We have a program where students can finish high school and begin university studies at the same time. And many community colleges now are offering bachelor's degrees, and Edmonds is one of them. We offer 2 different bachelor's degrees. We have more in the pipeline. More degrees will be offered. But in general, all community colleges in the US will have the 2+2 professional technical programs and English training programs. Students who love to do a gap year, we have a lot of European students at Edmonds College. They come and they take 6 months or 9 months at Edmonds. The beauty of doing a gap year for at least 6 months, we also have certificates of completion. You can go home after 6 months of studying at Edmonds with a certificate, something to prove that you have completed something in the US. So there are many more options for Edmonds compared to other schools, but right now we're trying to speak in general about community colleges. So I will leave my website on the chat. So if you have questions, you can look at the website. I can also put my email address on the chat. So if you have any questions, you are welcome to email me at any time. University transfer is what community colleges are known for. We prepare you for admissions to university. We help you choose universities. We have partnerships with many universities. I know that where Mansour goes to school, they have a close partnership with the top universities in California. It's the same thing in Washington. We have university agreements with many universities around the US. Many students don't know what they want to study at the university. Not a problem. We can help you explore options. While you're exploring options, you can be taking classes that will transfer to any major. So you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting your money. Let me go through this. One of the questions I often get is, what can I study at the community college? Do you have my major? Do you have my degree? The great news about community colleges is you can begin any major that you want to study at the university, whether it is science, technology, engineering, math, psychology, art, you can begin at community college. There are some exceptions in the American education system where, for example, if you want to study medicine, if you want to study law, you need to have a bachelor's degree first. So a student who wants to study medicine, it's recommended that the student studies a bachelor's degree, 4-year degree in biology or chemistry. After graduation from university, they must apply as a master's level, graduate level program to medical school. Same with law. It's recommended that students study economics, political science, then apply to law school as a graduate program. Compared to other countries where right after high school you can begin those degrees, 99% of the time that's not possible in the US. There are a few universities that have different kinds of programs, but in general, there are some programs that are graduate programs. Community colleges will assess your needs. What do you need? What do you want to study? Where would you like to transfer? At Edmonds College, we're very proud to say we have 100% transfer rate. All of our international students are accepted to universities. We have very popular majors because we're in Seattle: science, technology, engineering, math, of course, business, and hospitality management are our top programs. Okay, this is a very, very long list. It's actually 2 pages long, but I'm not going to bore you with that, of all of the universities where our students have been accepted. For students for France, just wanted to let you know that many of our French students, we normally have between 20 students, 18 to 20 students a year from France on average. Many students in the past have chosen to continue in Canada because the province in Quebec has an agreement with the government of Canada where, the government of France, where French students pay in-state tuition. So something you might want to look into if that's your choice. But I know that students who prefer to stay in the US to continue their education to really master the English language. But in the past, I had students going to Canada as well. But you can go anywhere in the US. There are so many universities, more than 4,000 universities in the US. So we are going to help you reach your goal. You know, what degree and what university will work with you on that. Again, more universities where we have been successful sending students. Many community colleges offer conditional admissions, meaning we have partnerships with many schools where when you graduate from my college or another college, you can transfer directly into universities. So here is the partial. It's not a complete list, but it's the partial list of Edmonds College. I know that every school has partnerships, and community colleges have partnerships with different universities. So I was talking about the professional and technical degrees. Here is our sample of our culinary arts program. It's very, very popular program. We have a baking, cooking. We also have industry baking. If you're working for a ship, you know, those mass production cooking. If you work in a hotel, or if you work in a cruise ship, or if you work in buffets where you have to produce a lot of food, we have certificates and degrees for that. Again, it's a very popular program. Students, when they graduate from Edmonds, they're almost guaranteed a job because in Washington State, there is a shortage of chefs. So something to think about if you like cooking. Our certificates is what I mentioned before. there are shorter studies. There are 9 months, 6 months certificates. These are great opportunities, as I mentioned, for a gap year. If you're not sure that the American education system is for you, you just want to do something for a year, don't waste your time. Invest in a certificate. Every community college will offer you certificates, and there are exciting things you can study in 9 months or in 6 months. One of our most popular certificates is we do have a digital music, we have a robotics and a game animation, 2 different programs, but they both are include music. So students are able to create their own digital music. We have a whole department dedicated to music. So music is one of those fun things that nowadays is used for animation games. So important skill to have. But you also have your traditional business, health. We also help students create their own certificate. Okay, so there's quite a few options. Like I mentioned, Edmonds College is following the trend of other community colleges that are offering bachelor's degrees. We offer child, youth, and family studies and a degree in information technology. There are more degrees, like I mentioned, in the pipeline, so there are many other options for the future. Still a little cheaper going to a community college, even for a bachelor's degree, than it is for a university. This slide is a little, I need to explain. Not all community colleges have resident halls or dormitories. It's kind of a unique thing that Edmonds College has had resident halls for 10 years or more. Actually, it's been longer than that. It's important for us that our students are comfortable, they are independent, they have a place to live, they have a choice. So we have dormitories. So here is the look of Rainier Place, which is a dormitory right on campus. And right across the street is a new dormitory called Triton Court. Regardless of which dormitory you choose, you're not having a roommate, meaning you're not going to have anybody in your room. It's a private room. There are 3-bedroom units, 4-bedroom units, 2-bedroom units. So it's very comfortable, it's very private. You have laundry facilities, you have a full kitchen to cook your meals. It's a great place. Lots of activities. We hire students to help organize activities for students. And you also have an opportunity to work. Working on campus is one of your, it's a great opportunity to start that curriculum vitae, to get experience. And we give priority. We try to prioritize. We hope to give as many jobs as possible to international students because that's the only place where you can work legally. You can only work on campus. So if you can get a job in the bookstore, in the cafeteria, in the library, in the dormitories, in our offices, that's great. It's a great opportunity for you. And we help you with the process. And that is true for all community colleges. The systems that we have in place are really designed to support students throughout their journey, whether it's academic support, personal assistance, or professional development. Let me show you the other option that we have. This is probably the most popular option for community colleges that will help you find a homestay family. And homestay families are great. You know, local families that are opening their homes to international students. Private rooms, also very important. The difference between homestay and dormitories at Edmonds College is that our homestay program includes meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Dormitories, you have to cook your own food. So you have a choice. You can think about what would be best for you. And I usually say to students, do 3 months with a homestay. get comfortable riding the bus, knowing the city, learning where to go shopping, etc. Then move into a dormitory. You become more independent. You can also rent your own apartment. You don't have to live on campus. You don't have to be part of the housing on campus. These are just options for your convenience. Okay. And campus resources, like I mentioned before, community colleges being smaller institutions, you really get to know people. People really are there to help you. At Edmonds, for example, we have counseling center. You have questions about your major. You don't know what you'd like to study, or you're struggling with your major. You want to change your major. No problem. You can go to the counseling center. You're ready to get a job. You're going to graduate from Edmonds, and you know that the law, immigration law, allows you to work for 12 months after you graduate from any community college. So you are looking for a job. How do I start looking for a job? How do I prepare my resume? Because resumes in the US are very different than from your country, from my country. So there is a career action center that helps you finding jobs, practicing interview skills, resume writing. Learning support center, it's like a tutorial center. You have questions, you have issues with your math class, your chemistry, you're taking philosophy, you're stuck. Bring your homework there, bring your work. There will be teachers and students there helping students. And we have, of course, a library. STEM study group is unique. Edmonds has dedicated a huge area for science, technology, engineering, and math, where there are students and faculty helping other students through, class support, outside of class support. You have to do an experiment. You don't know how to start. You bring it over. They help you with it. You exchange ideas. You work on projects together. It's a great, great facility. Students with disabilities by law in the United States, we have to, and we have great resources to help students who have a disability. Many students, it's not a physical disability as much as they have math anxiety. They get stressed out about taking a math test. We work with students with disability. Students are given extra time for the math. They're monitored, they're guided. Students with dyslexia, you transpose numbers and things like that. You come in to our student with disabilities. We help you with that, set you up with a tutor. So, and this is open to all students, international students, American students. As long as you're a student at Edmonds College, you are able to use our services. It's true for all community colleges. More individualized services and easy to navigate because you're not trying to find the building that has these services. Everything is in a very small area. You can walk my college in less than 10 minutes from beginning to end. So very, very easy to get around. Campus life, community colleges try to duplicate what universities do. We have clubs, we have, facilities are great. We have a lot of labs, because community colleges offer technical programs. We have a lot of hands-on labs, state-of-the-art facilities. If you're going to study motor mechanics, you have a lab working with an actual motor. If you are an animation technician, you will be creating animation in our computer labs. If you're a chef, of course. Our hospitality and tourism, if you want to work for a travel agency, we have United Airlines server. We have access to creating a ticket directly on an actual server from United Airlines. So you get real experience of what the industry needs. So that's one of the advantages of community colleges. Everywhere in the US, you have a real practical experience, hands-on experience while you're studying. So lots of places to go sit down, relax, hang out, eat. Okay, we're getting closer to the end. So I already spoke about the support. And nowadays, what is happening with COVID? Well, nothing is happening. No, I'm kidding. We have basically moved all of the support services that I mentioned to you, tutoring center, career center, international student support services, have been changed to an online platform. Many schools have different, we all have pivoted, we all have changed. At Edmonds College, you have a chat. You have a quick question, you use our chat. If you need to make an appointment, there are virtual appointments with all of our advisors. We have a hotline too, where you can call. And when you're taking, so here's an example, sorry. The activities that International Office has been doing for our students online, we have, these are the fun activities. For example, microwave cooking. You're in your room, you're in your dorm room, you're not going out to eat much. What can you do? There are healthy, great meals you can cook in microwave. You need to take care of yourself, so we're teaching you a yoga session, So these are samples of what courses we're teaching. Not courses, it's more activities, of course. But on the other hand, we also have important things like apply for scholarships. One thing that is not common is for community colleges to have a lot of scholarships. At Edmonds, we're fortunate enough to have several kinds of scholarships. Not all of them require high grades. Some of them require an essay. Some of them will be for students in engineering, or if you have, because of your leadership, because you are doing something in the campus that makes you stand out from other students, you're eligible to apply. It's called leadership, like a leadership scholarship. You can prove that, hey, I am president of my club, or I'm a volunteer in this organization. That's the kind of, doing something different. So not everybody has good grades, not everybody volunteers. So we have different kinds of scholarships available every quarter at Edmonds College, and international students are eligible to apply, of course. So we have workshops on how to apply for scholarships, how university transfer, very important. We will talk to you and prepare you. We also invite universities to virtually do presentations, so you can decide which university will be good for you. Well, what's your next step? Sports, right now, we have few classes that are on site, and our sports teams are still practicing. Even with social distancing, they still have to keep up. We have baseball, soccer for women and men, volleyball, basketball. So they're still practicing on campus. We have competitive sports, but we also have clubs. And of course, one of the most popular clubs is either tennis club or volleyball, ping pong, badminton, and soccer clubs. So these are clubs where students play all the time. They don't have to be part of the competitive team. So I already talked about scholarships, and I know that more and more community colleges are establishing scholarships. At Edmonds, we have 3 different kinds, and within each scholarship type, there are several options. So again, I will put the name on the chat. So let me just go through my last slide, and that is where you can find us. I appreciate your attention, and I'm happy to answer questions when we're ready. I'll stop sharing my screen, Celine.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Martha.
All right.
Well, I have 2 questions, and we'll try to answer them, and then we'll ask Mansour to explain what he's doing at Diablo Valley College. So there's a question about how to know which community college have an agreement with, for example, so it's Gwendalina who asked, how can I know which community college has a partnership with the university I would like to go to?
Very good question. I think I will start backwards, finding out which university is that you want to study at, and then you will have to do some research. There is a great website. It's called Study in the USA, and it's like a search engine where you type in the name of the university or the name of the state, and it finds you institutions. I think that will be the easiest way to find out. Going to the university first. Sometimes the website might say something, but you just have to do your research, email universities. There is no easier way per se.
Well, generally, if you're interested in state universities, most state universities have agreement with community colleges of the same states. So it's very easy. But at the same time, as I wrote to Gwendolina in private, I mean, you can start with a community college in Washington State and then transfer into New York. So that's why, as you said, you need to do some research. So is it possible to get 100% tuition fee and other fee expenses, scholarship or financial assistance? No, I don't.
Unfortunately, not. No. We are a state institution. Like I mentioned earlier, we're a government institution. So unfortunately, there is nothing like that for international students. You can apply for scholarships that will help you with books, part of your tuition and things like that. You can get a job on campus, 16 hours a week, $14 an hour. That's our minimum wage. So you can help yourself, but full scholarships are not going to be available at any community college. Even at universities, it's kind of rare to have 100% scholarship in the US. Unless you are a superb athlete or you are a magnificent violin or piano player that the university, maybe you have a talent that the university wants for their school. And that's another way to get a scholarship, but 100% is not. And financial aid is only available for residents and US citizens because of taxes, because we pay taxes. That's one of our benefits per se.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm gonna ask Mansour to present maybe Diablo Valley College, just to so that we know what is this college, where it is located, and what they offer.
So I studied in Diablo Valley College. It's community college in California. It's located in Pleasant Hill, so nearby Berkeley, Auckland, and San Francisco. I am a political science major student, and I'm planning on transferring into AUC to pursue my 4 years university, and then maybe going to law school. I actually like the community college system here in California. Like every community college, you can mix and match courses, you can explore so many things. And since we are not required to do the SAT, I think this is a better way to prepare for higher education here in the United States. Yeah, it's been 1 year. I'm trying to get through this semester with COVID, but I chose to stay here rather than going to France and deal with the jet lag and time difference. And yeah, I'm actually looking right now for an internship. It's really hard considering the circumstances. And yeah, I feel like everybody should live this experience. It's really great for language, and also it's really good for having a open mind, if that makes sense, because you're exposed to a new culture. And yeah, I feel like there is a lot of opportunities here in the United States. So yeah.
So there's a question from Gwendolina. After 2 years of community college, can we enter the third year? Of course, that's the plan. That's the objective. The idea is to start your bachelor's degree. That's a transfer program. So what kind of courses do you take, Mansour, at DVC?
So I take political science classes, but I also have to take additional classes that are not related to political science in order to transfer. I take maybe per semester, maybe maximum 2-3 political science classes, and then additional classes such as history and communication and English that are required to fulfill the 60 units.
Mm-hmm. So you will do 2 years of general education classes plus some of your major classes, and then you will have to reapply so as to get into one of the UC, unless there are like guaranteed transfer agreement.
Yeah, there is TAG. I know one of my friend. She's tagging UC Davis, so it's like a guarantee that she would be admitted to UC Davis. And there is other university that you may like to enter, maybe like your first choice, like UC Berkeley or UCLA. And yeah, I think it's kind of like parkourship. Like you have like a guarantee that, you know, like a security.
But you need to have a minimum score. You need to have what we call GPA, which is average, grade average. So you cannot transfer into the third year just like that, just because they need to work. I mean,
yeah. You actually need a minimum of 3.8. Yeah.
And do you find it difficult?
Not really, because the teacher are really dedicated to us, and video lecture, and if we have questions, we can email them. Actually, what I'm scared about is next semester I have to take a math class. But it's that, so it will be easier because I did a back L. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've done math. So
come to Edmonds, Mansour. We can help you with math.
So any other question for Martha, for Mansour? Maybe someone would like to unmute his or her microphone to ask the question directly. Even in French, it's okay. No other questions? So, oh, Sad, do you have a question? Hello? We cannot hear you very well. I don't think your microphone is working. No.
Maybe you can type it on the chat.
Yeah, it's gonna be better. Anybody else would like to unmute its microphone? So no transfer from CC to private university? Yes, you can certainly transfer into from a community college to a private university, but there are some agreements that are like guaranteed. There are like private, I mean, not private, there are partnerships agreement. So, and generally the natural transfer is from one community college in specific state to another state university in the same state. That's the natural transfer. But at the same time, it doesn't prevent you from starting with a public community college and then transfer into a private university at the other side, on the other side of the US. So, and I guess the professors and all the staff will help you to achieve your goals. So you need to know what you want at first, and then you will have lots of counselors, professors who will help you to transfer into the university you want to transfer to. So what kind of services do they provide to you, Mansour, for academic counseling? Do you have like regular meetings, or?
Yeah, actually we can schedule those recurrent meetings. I actually do it when I want it. I schedule an appointment, but we also have specific things such as international student office, where they can help you with maybe question related to immigration and your status, or even certify if you're eligible to get a job after your 2 years community college. And I think they also check on your job that you're doing in the community college, so that they know that everything is right, you're legal. But yeah, some counselors do the recurrent counseling appointment, but I kind of like do it when I want it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, Martha?
I just, we do the same thing at Edmonds, and I was wondering if I could share my screen for a split second so students know what tools all community colleges have. I'm sharing right now. I hope you can see. It's called, I just pulled out a sample of what we call requirement sheet. Every major that is offered at Edmonds has a list, or community college, I'm assuming that Mansour has something similar. It's called your requirement sheet, and it's basically your outline, what classes you must take in each area in order to graduate from Edmonds and enter university. So I just picked biology, for example. You will need classes in English, you need classes in math, you need classes in cultural diversity, you need distribution, meaning you need 65 credits in these areas: natural science, humanities. This is what Mansour was talking about. And when you sit down with your counselor, your advisor, you go through this sheet. So you don't have to worry about, am I missing a class? Am I taking the correct class? The key to success is to always visit your advisor. Don't listen to your friends, even if you're studying the same program as your other friend. Your friend and you are very different people. You might want to be going to a different university. You might have different GPAs, different grades. So the idea is you need to contact your advisor, work on these requirement sheets. Like I said, every school has them. And what you do, for example, at Edmonds, you click on it and it tells you the description of the class. You know, is this a class? Oh, okay, now I know what class I need to take. Oh, that looks difficult. I don't want that class. Maybe I want something else. So it's like a menu. You choose and pick and choose whenever they're called electives. But there are some specific classes that are required for your major. So I just wanted to give you an example of how students pick classes. You're never alone. That's the one thing you want to remember. Like Mansour says, you make an appointment with an advisor, you email an advisor. We are there to help you at every step of the way. So thank you. I'll stop sharing now.
So there's a question from Saad. If I live with a host family, do I have to pay for housing and meal expenses? Yes, it's not free. But it's generally less expensive than having an apartment, right?
Definitely. When you have an apartment, you have to pay for water, electricity, garbage. Sometimes you have parking, sometimes you don't. You live with a host family, you pay one fee. Wi-Fi is included in your, there are specific things included. So it is definitely the most economic way to begin your studies in the US.
Where do you live, Mansour?
So I started in a student housing, which is really, really nearby DVC. It's not owned by DVC, but it's for mainly international students. And I hated it because, yeah, it was mainly international student, and I came here in the perspective to like meet US, like making US friend. And it's not mainly because of that, but also there was kind of like a weird dynamic. People don't really respect the agenda of other people. They were doing like noises, so it was really annoying for me studying. And yeah, so I moved out to an apartment, which was a big commitment. It's a studio, so it's a way like more responsibility. I have to pay for my Wi-Fi, for my electricity, for everything. But yeah, and also the thing that I didn't really appreciate was that in the student housing, I don't know if that's like that everywhere, like in community college, but we had to pay we have to pay the whole 6 semester once. So financially it was kind of hard, to plan this. And here it's every month, so it's easier to pay and keep track of the payment. So yeah, that was my only thing. And also, love noises. Sometimes you don't have the same hygiene as other people, so it can be tricky. So take that in consideration. I never tried family housing, but yeah, especially if you share your bathroom and bedroom, you maybe want to, I don't know, maybe with a friend. If it's someone that you don't know, it's kind of like more risky. But I actually like what Edmond is proposing with the alone, like private room. I think it's cool. If there was that here, I think I would have taken that. But yeah, I had a private bathroom and a private bedroom, so it was easier. But yeah, sometimes people just don't care about your what you're doing. You don't respect. But yeah.
There's a question about visa. So the visa that you will get if you go to a community college is an F1 visa. So that's the basic student visa program. Someone started with a J1. So the J1 is another visa that you get when you participate in an exchange program. So I don't know about you, Marie-Pierre, who asked the question. Can be, for example, a high school exchange program or also university exchange program. So J1 is limited to generally 1 year, but the F1 is not. So if you came back to France and you want to go back to the US to study as long as you want, I mean, there is no obstacles in applying for an F1. Generally, they give you a visa for 5 years, I think, for the F1. I don't know if you remember, Mansour.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. You had 4 years, and so there's no. I mean, if you already had a J1 visa, it's not a problem if you want to apply for F1. And also, I wanted to say that if you're in France and you need to apply for a visa soon, you can do it. The US embassy is opened. They are not giving, I mean, the US consulates. There is one US consulate in France where you can apply for your visa. It's only in Paris. So the Paris US consulate is open for student visa, for exchange student visas, for other business visas. But they don't do other visas. So, but if you want to go to the US in January, you can apply. Now the US consulate is open. So,
oh, really?
Quickly, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Then there's another question: do all community colleges are public, or are there any private? Yes, there are some private community colleges, right, Martha? I think so.
Yes, there are both kinds of institutions. Yes,
but the majority is public.
Public, yeah. Correct.
Mm-hmm. And there's a question about letter of recommendation. So maybe we can talk about the application process. It's rather easy, right?
For Edmonds, it's easy. It's online, and you enter your information, basic information, submit it, and within 24 hours, you will receive a pass code and a user ID to complete your application. You will only require a copy of your passport, a copy of your bank statement or your parents' bank statement that shows that you have the $19,000. That is a requirement from the US government to show that you have enough money to pay for your studies and live for 1 year in the US. And there is a $50 application fee. That's all we need. We don't need high school transcripts. We do not need SAT, none of that. If you are already in university, if you want to use some of the credits you earn already in France, later when you are accepted at Edmonds, you can bring those credits and we will evaluate them. But that's the only time we require transcripts. Only if you want to use after high school credits and transfer them to Edmonds. But other than that, very simple. Copy of your passport, $50 application fee, copy of your bank statement, and of course the written application, which is all online.
Mm-hmm. And how was it for you, Mansour?
Actually, my community college is requiring transcript if you're younger than 18 years old. It's the only requirement that changed from Edmonds Community College. But for me, also the TOEFL is required. So you have to have a 65 score minimum for TOEFL. You have to have your transcript history if you're younger than 18. Bank statement, if I recall, bank statement. Yeah, and proof of visa.
An application, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fill out. It was really easy.
And how much is it to study at DVC for 1 year? Do you remember?
For 1 year, every semester. So I think you will have to do the math. But every semester, I pay an average of, it depends on the amount of classes I take and the credit, but it will range around 5,000. and yeah, so for 1 year, like 10,000 something for 1 year. But yeah.
But it's only for tuition, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? So no letter of recommendations, very easy, no ACT. Sometimes ask for the TOEFL, but that you don't need a very high score. I mean, TOEFL is out of 120 and 65 is like 10 sur 20, you know? So you don't need to have a very good level. Do you remember how much did you get at the TOEFL?
I think I get I don't remember if it was 73 or 83. There was a 3, but I don't remember.
Do you feel that you improved your English since you arrived in the US?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. In France, I was already, I already know how to speak English better than average, so that helped too, I think. But in community college, they always also offer either ESL, so English as a second language classes, or ENGL. So there was, when I arrived first semester, there were no ESL available, so I do an ENGL, and that works perfectly for me. I had an A in this class. so yeah, I think it's really personal, but I grasp the language really easily.
Okay. Well, other questions before we wrap up? Nope. Anybody wants to unmute its microphone? Nope. Apparently not. So thank you, everybody. So just wanted also to just show you just the other community college we were talking about. So Diablo Valley College, just in case you were wondering. So this is just the website. So if you want to know more, dvc.edu. It's where Mansour is studying right now. So please have a visit. And then, so Edmonds Community College, it's EDCC, right? EDU, is that right, Martha?
Yes, it is. You got it memorized. That's great.
Yes, I know all the 4,000.
You're amazing.
Okay.
Oh, what you're seeing, the picture that you're seeing is a brand new science building on the left. It rotated, but we just opened 2 weeks ago a brand new, you can watch a video if you want. It's a short video, but 2 buildings were opened 3 weeks ago, the new dormitory and the science, technology, engineering, math, and nursing building. Amazing facilities. I can't wait to go back to the college to be sitting in those chairs. It looks great. Right now, it's few students are going to the building, so they're lucky.
Well, thank you very much, Martha. Thank you, Mansour.
My pleasure. Thank you, everybody. I put my email on the chat, so if anybody has questions, and so thank you, Mansour. Great to meet you all.
Thanks for having me.
And so if you have questions for me, if you have general question about studying in the United States, please do go to our website. So again, I will share my screen to show you our website. So don't hesitate to check our website. There are lots of information about studying in the US. And if you have question, you can contact us by just clicking on Contactez-nous, for example.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. Maybe you'll go back to sleep. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I have to study.
Go and study now, Mansour.
Yeah.
And,
I go to work, so I mean, I
Yeah.
stay working. So thank you, Celine. Very nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Have a nice one.